Hello everyone and welcome back to Fantom Sports Industries. My name is Joe Soisson. I'm a contributor for Fantom Sports hockey content. Today I wanted to focus on NHL trade rumors because the NHL Trade Deadline is coming up in early March. And so over the span of the next few weeks, there's going to be a lot of talk about who's moving where. So I've picked out 4 teams that I think heavily influence the trade market and will also impact this season with their decisions. Team number 1, the Pittsburg Penguins. So this is the Jake Guentzel situation, and this situation is more of a, hey, what's going to happen here than it is a specific team expressing interest. Sportsnet's Nick Capreos mentioned that Pittsburgh might have made Guentzel a new offer on a contract, but thus far his current contract status remains unchanged. And this decision on Guentzel re-signing with Pittsburgh means a lot to the Penguins because look at the current state of the roster. This squad is roughly 5 points short of a playoff spot, and of their top 10 point scorers, only Guentzel and Marcus Pettersson are under the age of 30. Guys like Crosby, Malkin, and Letang, they are still the face of this franchise, but they will be thinking about retirement sooner rather than later. And Guentzel is number 2 in points on the team, so it feels like if he stays, Pittsburgh thinks they can compete for a Stanley Cup. But if Guentzel signs and Pittsburgh misses the playoffs again, Guentzel could be trapped on a team that's really more in the rebuilding stage once the old guard retires. Because if you're going to sign Guentzel again, it's either going to be for a lot of money or for a lot of time. And on the other hand, if Guentzel wants out of Pittsburgh, he'll probably get a big contract wherever he goes. Now, nobody has to make a decision yet, but there are plenty of teams that would love to sign a player like Guentzel right now because playoffs are slowly encroaching. We're into the second half of the season, and a lot of those playoff-bound teams would love to get a player like Guentzel acclimated to their environment before that starts. Either way, the clock is now ticking for both parties involved. Team number 2, the New York Rangers. It was announced on January 28th that New York Rangers center Philip Cheadle would miss the remainder of the season due to an upper body injury. And since then, the depth of the New York Rangers has had their struggles. Only 5 skaters on this team have more than 10 goals this season, and Panarin has a massive lead on all of them. Now, this isn't a bad thing overall. The starting 5 should be winning, and the Rangers are the number 1 team in the Metro Division today. But this is about the playoffs and winning a Stanley Cup. Since 2019, the Rangers have only missed the playoffs once, counting the qualifying years of the bubble year. In other words, this team is in its championship window. They're built to win a Stanley Cup now, but with Cheadle out for the season, there's now a hole in their depth. And the past few Stanley Cup winners have all had great scoring depth. So New York will likely try and find a replacement for Philip Cheadle, even if it's just for this year. But the question remains, where will they look for this replacement, and what can they afford to give up for a better shot at the finals? And number 3, the Calgary Flames. Look, Calgary has been in a selling mood, and they may not be done quite yet. Back in November, they traded Nikita Zadorov to the Vancouver Canucks. Then on January 31st, they traded Elias Lindholm to Vancouver for Andrei Kuzmenko, the rights to 2 prospects, plus a conditional pick in the upcoming draft. The next name on the block for Calgary looks to be another unrestricted free agent, Chris Tanev. Now, Tanev doesn't add a lot offensively. He's only got 9 points this year, but he's a true defenseman. He blocks a lot of shots, and there are a couple of teams this year that already have the offensive side of play taken care of, but would love to bolster up their defense to help ice some of these games. The dilemma is that teams that want Tanev may not have what Calgary is looking for. On top of that, Noah Hanifin, another defenseman for Calgary, has been back and forth on re-signing with the team. Not sure where discussions stand now, but if Hanifin doesn't sign, that would mean 3 defensemen traded away by Calgary this season. And since Zadorov and Lindholm both got traded to a team in President's Trophy contention, maybe Calgary goes 3 for 3 or even 4 for 4 on trades to playoff-bound teams this year. And finally, the San Jose Sharks. San Jose is at the bottom of the standings in the NHL, which means they hold one of the most powerful cards at the NHL trade table. But what makes this team so interesting is they've got two forwards that they'll have to make a decision on eventually: Alexander Barabanov and Anthony Duclair. Now, Anthony Duclair is a veteran hockey player. He's got the 6th most points on the team and the 3rd most goals for the Sharks this season. This season, by the way, marks his 10th season in the NHL. His contract right now currently makes him $9 million, so re-signing him would be on the expensive side. Meanwhile, Barabanov hasn't played every game, but he's good when he's healthy. Past 2 seasons, he ended with 39 and 47 points. This year, through 31 games, he's only got 9 points thus far, but again, hasn't been able to play every game. Similar to Duclair, Barabanov's current contract guarantees him $5 million, so again, re-signing feels like it would be on the expensive side. The other side note to this is Barabanov's current contract has a 10-team no-trade list clause. So there's about a third of the league that Barabanov would need permission from the Sharks in order to pursue a deal from. So the question becomes, who wants and can afford players like Barabanov and Duclair? Because as I mentioned in my power rankings video, there's a lot of teams that are now winning through defensive play. So a couple of those teams, I wouldn't be shocked if they gave San Jose a call and made a deal for one of these players to help round out their offense. And San Jose, any trade they say yes to is just buying power for next season. So I'm very curious to see who calls up the Sharks and makes them an offer. So those are my 4 teams to watch regarding trades: Pittsburgh, the New York Rangers, Calgary, and San Jose. I would not be shocked to hear any of their names come up in the news about the NHL over the next couple weeks. But that's going to be it for me today. Thank you all so much for watching. If you like our content, be sure to click the like button down below on this video. And while you're down there, click that subscribe button to get notified of future uploads to this very channel. And don't forget to check out our official website. That's phantomsportsindustries.com for other sports news, takes, and updates. Once again, my name has been Joe Soisson, and from Fantom Sports, we hope to see more of you next time.